Now, 50 Cent wrote a book with Robert Greene. It's called The 50th Law. And that book actually taught me, I think there's a chapter on self-reliance or consistency. I can't really recall, but I remember the lesson vividly. And it's when you have a business, you have to treat it like you're working for someone. You have to treat, if you have a personal business, a personal brand, you must treat it like you're working for someone. You must show up at a particular time, attend to, like you're attending to customers, you're attending to clients, or like a normal business. Like you go to work and you do your work, and then you go back home, and then you go back to work, and you keep doing this, you keep repeating this process over and over and over and over again, and that's kind of like very discouraging when you get started, because when I started my business, when I would go to work, I would have no customers at all. On Monday, I'll go to work, nothing. On Tuesday, throughout the whole week. And then I won't say, oh, I didn't see any customers throughout last week. Let me relax at home. No, I have to keep going, I have to keep going, I have to keep going, I have to keep going. So that was what separated 50 Cent, because he used to sell drugs, crack cocaine, in I think in Queens or so. In when he was in the ghetto in the US, he used to sell drugs, and it was something he wanted to do for a while. It wasn't something like this was going to be his life forever. He needed something to escape the rut that he was in. So in order to get out of that place, he had to do that for a while. But in trying to do that, he had to compete with others who were doing exactly the same thing. So he had to stand out from everyone else. So while everyone took their business casually, they went to work when they can, when they feel like. He said he put it in the mind like, okay, let me pretend as if I'm working for someone. So you wake up in the morning and go to work, attend to customers, and then go back home, and then start planning, strategizing, organizing how the next day would be, and then he would go and kept repeating the same thing over and over and over and over again until he was able to get enough money to escape the drug business, because it wasn't something he was going to do forever. So he had a plan, he had an exit plan, because the situation he found himself in, he never knew his father, and his mother died when she was a teenager. You can imagine that. She was a young woman and she died and left Curtis Jackson with 50 Cent. So he grew up in a very rough neighborhood where people get shot, people get killed almost all the time. So he learned to be gets committed. Like people get robbed there like anytime. And this is America, gun violence is prevalent. So he had to escape that. He didn't want to be where he was born into. He had to think about how to get out of that situation, and he was going to use that to fuel his ambition, or to fuel his ambition to make music. So in order to go into music, he needs money for recording sessions, for studios, for to promote the song, to record people, to even get noticed by a record label. Not be small thing. So he had to really hustle, and eventually, after hustling and getting the money, he was able to break out of that, because it was not a sustainable way for him to live. So what I learned from that experience is most of the time we find ourselves in situations where they're very, very tight. It seems like there's no way out. But once we come up with a structure, a clear plan of what we are going to do, we actually need to stick to it and stay with it continuously, no matter what happens. And eventually that's what leads to success, is you being persistent and being consistent. You keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, eventually becomes success. All the people in marketing and distribution, all the big companies, they just do the same, repeat the same processes every day, over and over and over, because that's the process that actually satisfies the needs and desires of their clients. So when I learned from that, when I learned, I decided to say, it's not trying to be too creative, or you try this today, or no, you just take one thing, I think just stick with it. Take one thing and then stick with it, and you keep doing it over and over and over again. Oh, so that's what that book taught me. Go and get that book, 50 Cent. Robert Greene wrote. It's called The 50th Law. I love that book. I love that book. It's very, very smart. Teaches self-reliance. Teaches the need to keep moving. I love it. There's a chapter about perpetual momentum. So just once you get started with something, just keep moving. Just keep moving. Just keep moving. People are going to talk. People are going to criticize you, but just keep going. Just keep going. Just keep doing the same thing. Don't expect anybody to encourage you. Just keep going. Just keep doing the same thing, repeating the same process over and over and over and over again, and becomes part of your nervous system. So, yeah, that's it. Many more lessons are to be learned in that book, but what I learned from that was quite inspirational. Oof.